Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome to the night, another night of Wild Beyond the Witchlight here with our Misfit table and our Misfit crew of Foundlings. They've finally made it to the Fey Wild. Finally. The game's been wild, but it hasn't been Fey Wild until tonight. How are we all feeling now that you've left the normal world behind? And we're now somewhere off the map. What are you guys thinking?
Sam's, he's itching. He's like, yes, we're finally back. Finally, something will start to happen.
Sam, you have vague memories, not of this place, but having come to the Feywild before. When the carnival travels, it occasionally stops in the Feywild, in different places.
So, you know that kind of sensation that you get when, like, you walk by a place and there's a smell that just, like, conjures very vague imagery of a place that you've been before? Like, the smell of that particular urinal cake that they used to have at your elementary school. He's kind of getting that right now.
Wow.
That vague sense of something.
That's a much more vivid image than I anticipated, and in a different direction.
Yeah, that took a left turn right near the end. I thought you were going somewhere else with it, and I was thinking, my wife Pixie was out burning a bunch of stuff in our garden yesterday to get it ready, because you can do that in the Midwest. You don't have to worry about burning down the entire state when you burn some weeds. She came back in and she's like, I'm too tired to take a shower. I'm like, it's fine. You just smell like war. You know, the campfires at war. That's what it smells like. And every time I have like a bonfire year or fire outside or something, that's what I'm reminded of. That and California being on fire. So it's sort of like two different things.
Yeah.
It's like, should I be running right now or relaxing? I'm not sure.
Column A, column B.
Little column A, column B.
Is the fire close to the house? We're fine. Relax.
Oh man, I've had those moments too. Like, is it close to the house? Well, kind of close. Well, can you see it? You see a lot of smoke. No. Can you see actual fire?
Is it taking up the entire skyline?
Yes.
No, we're fine.
Pretty much.
Does it look like hell on earth yet? No.
Oh man, there's been so many times in California where it's like that.
My favorite is when you come out of your house and you're walking one direction and it looks like a beautiful blue sunny day. And then you turn around and it is literal hell on earth. Oh man.
Oh my god.
Poor Callie.
Mordor.
Yeah.
It was.
It's definitely Mordor.
The day we fled from the Thomas fire, when she walked out of the house, we used to live across the street from the grocery store. Walking to the grocery store, it looked beautiful. So I walked there picking up stuff for our evacuation. She walked there, saw the blue skies, and went and got coffee to have a nice day. When she came back out of the grocery store, I was coming to talk to her, and she almost dropped the coffee when she came out. Just seeing those red skies of Mordor.
I was like, time to go.
Pack up the house, we're leaving.
Our newborn.
Oh, yeah,
and the
with our
cats.
newborn and the cats.
You were surrounded at one point by that.
We were absolutely surrounded by fire. Yeah, it came down to one night. Yeah, if the wind had shifted, our town would have been gone, because all of the firefighters were fighting the fire in Ventura, and Ojai would have burned to the ground. But luckily, the wind just didn't shift. So we're like,
it was
like I remember being awake at 2 a.m. You know, just like I hadn't slept in 2 days, and I was just like watching the reports as much as I could. And then we were in Santa Barbara at the time, staying with friends, and then ash started raining from the sky while we were in Santa Barbara the next day too. And I was just like, what are we living in?
That year was like the disaster that never ended. Like there was
and then
fires
the mudslides.
and fires. And then you're like, oh, the fires are finally out. And then a few dozen people were like caught in a landslide in Santa Barbara.
I think even more casualties than the fire caused.
Yeah,
so
I think so. Mm-hmm. Crazy. All right, so
let's go to fantasy.
Yes, let's go to fantasy. Let's pretend that terrible things aren't happening.
Let's get involved in a whole other range of horrible things that are about to happen to
Fictional
us.
Yeah,
problems. They're so
Fictional
much less
problems.
stressful.
Fictional
We
trauma.
can roll dice about this.
I don't know. Sometimes fictional problems can be stressful too.
That's true.
Maybe we'll find out in this game. But what about the others? So, what about Thorn? Thorn, you've never been to a place like this before.
I think Thorn has no idea what to expect. But if it's going to get him closer to getting his mother back, then he's for it, man. Whatever it takes. I think, when he's been raised on stories of the Fey Wild, maybe not always by that name, but of the world of the faeries, and he sort of envisioned some vague ideas of green forests, probably with little dancing lights between them, sparkling fairies floating around, colorful flowers, a moon that's like 3 times its normal size, and instead we're in this like dismal swamp.
Yeah. Instead, you get the bog of eternal stench.
Thorn's
There's
just
nothing.
like, what are we getting ourselves into? This isn't what I was looking for.
You're like, oh, did we come to the right place?
Yeah.
There's a different mirror we could have gone through.
Does that mirror have settings? They're
Yeah.
option.
I think
I wanted to be.
Have
Here,
something
Google Maps is off. What about Brandon? What about Sophia? What's going through Sophia's mind seeing this place?
He was determined and excited to go to the Fey Wild, not only to look for her father and parents and friends' parents and solve this mystery, but also just to see the wonders of the Fey Wild and just see the beauteous lands that she's like heard of and fairy tales and everything. And now she's here and she's tired already, and she's I'm trying to find a good word for it. Determined to find something positive and happy in the Fey Wild.
As you arrive in this place, you're like,
Yeah.
it's not as bad as I thought. Not as bad.
Yeah.
It's not as bad as it looks right here.
Like there's some color under here somewhere. There has to be.
Well, the bridge has a slight glow to it. Very, very.
Are we talking
slight
like
sort of
creepy
glow.
green light glow though? Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably a little bit of like Stranger Things, like the upside down sort of.
Maybe like something
not so-
died here and its spirit
Yes.
hasn't quite moved on yet. Kind of glow.
Maybe something like that. What about Tana?
Tiana is raring to go. She wants to find the lost people. She wants to get her stuff back. She's been waiting 8 years for this. She's ready to take out like her pent-up aggression on something.
Tana's unfazed by the terrible place you've just come into. It's like, all right, we're here. Show me what I need to beat up. to
Yeah,
get what I
pretty
need.
much.
Pickling and canning and
Just point-
pickling and canning.
For years.
How many
Talk about
jarred
bottled
pickles did
emotions.
Tana bring? That's what I want to know. How many jarred pickles did Tana bring to the Feywild?
Just the 2.
Just 2.
It's cucumbers, so pickled cucumbers, and then pickled string beans.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do like an entire session. Maybe have like a separate session, which is just Tana's backpack.
Yes.
Yes.
What's in there? That's I think what is it. I have a feeling that we're making fun of it, like she's packed like everything in a kitchen sink. But I don't know if that's true or not. I think we need to have like a maybe we can have people
do
guess.
a drawing if I
We
had
should have a
to.
drawing. We should have people guess, like what's in Tana's backpack.
I feel like Tana's backpack should be the name of our follow-up show. Like,
Yes.
welcome to Tana's backpack, where we're going to be unpacking the last session.
Yes.
We'll just-
Ooh,
yeah.
I like it.
Witchlight Unpacked or something like that. Maybe that's what we can call it.
Yeah, I want to be next to a fire in an armchair, and I want to be wearing a smoking jacket.
With a bubble pipe.
Yeah, with a bubble pipe.
With Thaco's bubble pipe.
And there's my backpack splayed on a table with just like all so
Tonight on Tana Theater. Let's get to this. I think that's good for now. I think we gave a little glimpse in everyone's minds. So you have arrived in the Fey Wild, particularly a place that is called Hither. You've been told that there are 3 realms here: Hither, Thither, and Yon. They were part of the sort of passphrase to get here.
Yeah.
You've arrived on this causeway, this giant bridge that travels through the swamp, and you're at the end of a section of it that has collapsed. You can see about maybe a mile and a half ahead in the swamp that this causeway picks back up again and continues off into the mist. But everywhere else you look is pretty much just boggy swamp and fog. Off to your left, you see some mountains rising up out of these fog and vanishing into clouds above. And over to your right, you can see hills that are also sort of misty covered. And as you're looking around this place, you see something in the sky off to your right in the direction of those hills. And it appears to be a balloon with a basket beneath it, drifting through the sky, kind of spiraling a little bit out of control. And you see it just in the distance, drop, 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 and then vanish into the swamps near this sort of silhouette of what appears to be a tower that you could see when you first got here. A tower that sort of stands at a little bit of an angle, like it's about to fall over. So something's here, signs of life. Balloons just don't grow in trees and then fly off into the sky and land on their own.
Follow that dirigible!
There's probably somebody in there.
Is that something
Say
from
something,
Sophia?
Brandon? We can't hear you.
You burnt your mic.
Uh-oh.
Technical difficulties.
He's unplugged himself.
Well, speaking of technical difficulties, I've been reminded that we have a new banner to unveil, which is specific to this new swamp that we're in. So this is as good of a time as any to go ahead and bring that in here. How's that look?
Ooh, spooky and swampy.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. I like it. Good colors. Perfect.
Nice.
Very, very nice.
My audio come back okay?
Yes,
Welcome back.
you're back now.
Welcome.
Awesome.
You can have Sophia.
I
Good to
found my
do.
voice again. My
You're walking
question
around
was, but I think Callie and Chad both answered it with their questions was, is this the riding balloon that has, like you said, a basket underneath? Because, okay.
Yes.
I don't know, in my mind's eye, I was picturing a balloon with like a tiny basket, but cool. Actual balloon.
It's just about a foot wide, just floats right by you. There's some kid somewhere that's crying because they lost their balloon. No, it's
Probably our kid.
Oh god, the Fey Wild sucks.
Did anybody see that movie, The Red Balloon, that was like from the 80s? And
I
just,
did.
like,
I feel like I've seen it. I don't remember it. But
I had to. I went to film school.
Oh, I did too. I went to film school. I know I saw it.
I'm sure you have.
One of those things they punish students with, isn't it?
Yeah.
You must watch this. This is
yeah, I
cinema.
saw that when I was 5, and they're making adults watch that? Okay, carry on. Okay, so we have 3 options. There's the way forward, where there is collapsed bridge down into swampy area. Off to our right, there's mountains. And to our left, I believe, if I have my directions correct, is a balloon going towards the tower, which seems the most...
Other left, to your right.
My other left, right. Some people will go both ways.
So
That's all right. We stepped through a mirror. You know, you get a little turn around.
True.
True. There's also, like, it's, when you say north, south, east, or west, it doesn't seem like those apply here. There's no stars you can see in the sky, no moon, no sun. No real way to sort of tell, like, directions.
This light is unsettling.
Mm-hmm.
Let's figure out if somebody's in that balloon. Maybe they can give us directions.
All right, well, yeah, let's go that way. That's what I say.
So right now you're about 100 feet or so above the swamp on this bridge. But in looking around for a way down, you find that the pillars below that support this part of the bridge seem to have handholds and footholds that have been carved into them. So climbing down doesn't seem like it's going to be a huge task. It's not going to require a bunch of rope. It's not going to even require a real athletics check. At least not right away. If you want to try to go down without using the handholds, if you don't trust them for some reason, you're going to have to be clever.
No, Tana's just going to go straight to the handholds and footholds and start.
All right, Tana's leading the way. Anybody else not following along or sharing a differing opinion?
No.
So, quick question. The bridge that we're on, like, were we at the very beginning of the bridge, or are we like halfway across the span?
You're at the edge where it's collapsed.
And how far back does it go before it
Vanishes into mist behind you, maybe a mile or so.
Okay, so this is like a long span. Got it.
Yeah, the bridge itself is 20 feet wide. And like I said, it seems to be about 100 feet or so above the swamp, all the way off into the distance. But it's parts of it have collapsed and crumbled away. It's hard to say where it came from, and you don't know where it goes.
So is there something that it's crossing, or is this just like an elevated road to keep you out of the swamp?
It's an elevated road, although it's hard to say if it was built to keep you out of the swamp, perhaps, or for some other purpose. I mean,
How wide is it?
20 feet.
20 foot.
So
Enough for,
carriages
like-
could go across.
Carriages could go across. Two carriages could probably
Yeah.
pass each other if they were careful.
Cool, like Louisiana.
How tall is it? Like from the edge down, like those
100
little
feet down
handholds.
to the swamp.
You said 100 feet?
Really?
100 feet down to the swamp. Yeah. This is why you have such a good view of the swamp from where you are.
Mercy, Rob. What are you trying to do to us?
I haven't asked you to make an athletics check yet, so you're probably not going to die.
Sulfira. Afraid of heights?
You look down, and Tana's already about 30, 40 feet down on these handholds and footholds.
You can do it.
It's
It's all right, Sulfira, if you're scared of heights. You know, a lot of people are.
Thorn
There's-
definitely blanches when he looks over the edge there. Oh.
Yeah, if you fell from this, you'd die. Well, depends on if you landed in water, muck, or on a rock. But you'd probably die.
I quickly step away from the edge. I don't know about that.
Thorn, you're
come on,
big, you're
Thorn.
strong.
There's more of me to fall.
Well, look at it this way. The bigger they are, the quicker you go. And so it'll be a much shorter trip. Come on, let's go.
Damn.
Okay. I thought this place would be more cheerful.
My sweet summer child.
Well, Thorn, and I'll pat your arm. I hope Seluna can help you to safely down to the ground. Take a guidance.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
You feel
And I
about
will.
1d4 better about this now.
You feel an average of 2 points better. I will
like that.
sit
You
up
feel
on the wall and
1d4
I will
better.
swing my legs over and I will start to descend carefully
All right.
and slowly because
Sophia is the next to go. Then
Sophia is not super fond of heights.
And there's a bit of vertigo as you go over the edge and begin descending.
Thorn
Just
tries
handholds
not
and
to
footholds.
throw up as he sees Sulfira going over the edge.
All right. Thorn, what I want you to do is remember the time you were flying and how great that was. And then as you're climbing down, just look straight ahead. Don't look down. Don't look up. Just look straight ahead. All right? And listen to the sound of my voice.
Okay. He's like looking at Sam like you are his lifeline as he climbs over the edge. Like,
I got you, brother.
okay. And I'll go over and start doing my best.
All right, you begin to climb down. Like I said, there's lots of handholds. You look down, maybe making the mistake of doing so and seeing how high up you are. But Tana at this point is down about 50 feet below all of you. She's just moving along, getting closer to the ground.
Do the handholds only go down one side, or do they wrap all the way around the column?
They just go down one side. They don't like spiral around it. But there are handholds where you could go around if you wished to. There's handholds kind of all over this thing.
Huh.
Some of them at larger, some of them seem designed for smaller folk. Some of them for larger folk, like the distances.
Almost as if they were hoping we would go this way. I feel a bit railroaded.
Or it's for maintenance, Sam. Not everything's a conspiracy.
Oh, you have not met the fairies, my love. Everything is a mind game. But all right. And as I'm going down, I'm just like finding ways to circle around the backside and kind of get a purchase and look around at stuff and then come over and it's like, hey, Thorn, how you doing? All right, good. And then climb around the other side and just capuchin.
So Sam is screwing around. Sam is not afraid of heights at all.
No.
Is that what I'm getting?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Eventually, all of you make it to the ground unharmed and give out a big sigh of relief as you do, at which point Thorn realizes that the Witchlight Crown probably would have been totally safe had you fallen, had you remembered that the crown can give you flight.
Wait, it can?
You were flying around with it before.
I thought that
He
it
still
ended
has
at the
that?
end of the...
You're thinking about it, and you remember that when they gave it to you, they said that the powers of it are not just one time.
Ooh. Oh, good.
And you
know.
can sense it like on your head. There's still something in it, some magic within it. I'm assuming you're still wearing the crown, but I don't really know. Are you?
You know, he's just juvenile enough to still wear the trophy he got at the circus.
When you go home with the Burger King crown on.
Oh yeah. It's like when you win third place at like mini golf or like go-karts and you wear the third place medal all day.
At least I placed.
Yeah.
Okay. When we get an illustration of Thorn, I think the crown has got to be on there.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Just a little too small for his head.
Yeah, for sure.
Because it's not made for a different size person. I love it.
So, does this feel like the kind of thing that has a limited well of power where it might have one or some set number of more uses and then it'll be gone? Or the sort of thing that might recharge on a long rest? Maybe tomorrow it will be back if I use it today.
You're thinking about it, and because this thing is on your head, you get like a weird sense of it. You've never had a magic item before. But when you concentrate on this one, you realize that it has like a well of energy, and you feel like you've used up about a fourth of it already. So you have possibly 3 more times that you can use this.
Cool.
When you first got it, there was like this little glow in your mind, and it was glowing brightly, and now it's just a little bit less, but still has magic.
And we slept, and it didn't come back at all.
It did
right?
not.
So
It did not come back.
Okay.
All right. You are down now at the bottom, and when you get to the bottom, you find that the swamp is like there's certain parts of it that are deeper than others. There doesn't seem to be any real paths here. You have to kind of wind your way through it, avoiding the deeper parts of mud and the deeper waters. You end up sort of hopping a lot of rocks, climbing logs, balancing your way along. And you do see life as you're moving through the swamp at the bottom. At one point, Thorn is marching along, and there's this giant flap of wings as a crane just emerges from the fog and flies by you. It doesn't threaten you, it doesn't attack you, but it just swoops by so low that it's startling, because the swamp itself Like there's life, you can hear it, but you just can't see a whole lot of it.
All right, I guess we just keep heading in the direction of the balloon and hoping for the best.
Give me a survival check. When you're down at the lower level of the swampy mist here kind of makes it difficult to see far distances. And it's could be easy to get turned around.
18.
Oh, we got someone that's good with survival. How many people are
22.
trained with it?
Oh, if we're not chained, then no.
No, well, who does have proficiency in it?
I have persistency.
Oh,
You're the
thank
only one, I
goodness.
think, right? You just have one person. Okay. All right. 1 second. So you're making your way through this area. The sticky mud is just squelching like beneath your feet. There's tangled mangroves everywhere that are growing out of pools of water. The fog is thick. It occasionally kind of turns you around, but Tana keeps you going in the right direction. At least Tana, you're pretty confident that you're not getting lost. The colors that you were kind of hoping for from this place, they still sort of exist, like the vibrant colors that you had thought would make up the Fey Wild. Like you see occasionally like these vibrant purple mushrooms that are clinging to rotten logs. And you see like the red toadstools, some of them as tall as like 4 or 5 feet, just coming out of the murk. But a lot of this is just sort of weird brownish green, with these like little islands of color. You can hear crickets, chirping, frogs croaking, and off in the distance, occasionally you see fireflies rippling through the fog. After about 10 minutes or so of making your way through the swamp, though, you hear somewhere ahead of you the sound of singing voices that seem to be singing some sort of a marching song. And you can also hear a bagpipe that's playing along with them. And it's growing louder and closer to you.
I just keep following the sound of those. Yeah, is it in the same direction as the balloon?
It is. You're going to intersect.
Okay.
They're coming closer to you, not going in the same direction as the balloon. As you continue moving along, the voices get louder, and eventually you can make out the songs. Sorry, go ahead for Sam.
I was just going to say if I could find, some place to hide.
You can. There's plenty of places to hide here. There's mists everywhere, bushes. The ground is not super, super flat unless you're like in the water parts of it, which I'm assuming trying to avoid.
Right. So basically, the moment that somebody comes into view, I'm going to jump behind a bush.
Okay. Give me a stealth check now, and we'll just keep that in mind.
Oh, right. 13.
13? Not terrible. Better than Thorn can do on a good day. So as these voices get closer, you can begin to make out the lyrics to this marching song as it's being sung. And it sounds as if maybe there's a half a dozen or so voices that have joined into it. And the song goes a little bit like this. And imagine that there is like bagpipes kind of playing along with it. Our sticks and stones we will employ to break your bones and steal your joy. But none among us can compare to a wily, swift, and stand-up hare. Quick as a bolt his long scarf trailing, seared by his brand he'll end up flailing. His legendary name we all will cheer, Agdon Longscarf, the brilliant prince of Prismeer. And you hear, as it finishes, there's sort of like a la at the end, and then you hear somebody sort of like jump and mud splash. And out of the fog, you see a humanoid creature kind of jump ahead. Doesn't immediately see you as it lands kind of in this puddle, and this stuff kind of flies everywhere. And you realize that this humanoid figure isn't human at all. It has features that look a lot like rabbits. has like this rabbit-like face, long ears. Its legs are kind of, bent in a way that if a rabbit had stood up on its hind legs. Although it has regular arms and hands. And as it lands, it's kind of like in this, ta-da type of like pose, as if it just finished a performance. And then at that point, it looks up and it sees Tana at the head of your group, Thorn behind, looming over, and Sylphira, I'm assuming, sort of bringing up the rear. Sam, at this point, is kind of ditched into some bushes, and you see this creature for a moment look at the three of you, and then kind of turn its head and look over in the direction that Sam is. And Sam, for a second, you kind of duck down, but you feel like you've been spotted. As this rabbit-like person stands up and looks at your group, out of the fog behind him come about a half a dozen others. They're all rabbit folk, and they're carrying different things with them. Some of them have like little slings that they're kind of slinging around. A couple of them have clubs that they're twirling in their hands. And the one in the front kind of raises a hand and says, "Oh, we have travelers here. Travelers. Ho, hello!" And it waves over in your direction.
I wave back and I say, "Well, hello. That was quite the ditty you were singing."
"Oh, great. Did you like it?"
"I did."
"How well did you like it?"
Enough?
Enough?
Well, I didn't quite understand all of it. Maybe you can explain.
"Well, what's there to explain?"
"Well, who's this prince you're singing about?"
"Agdon Longscarf, you don't know him?"
"No."
"Where have you been? What rock have you been living under?"
Many rocks stacked on top of each other to form a house."
"You have a house?"
"Yeah."
"Really?"
"I have a house."
"Oh, I'd like to see this someday. That must make you very happy. Does your house make you happy?"
"I mean, it did until part of it burned away, but, most of it is still intact."
"Well, did you have good memories of the house?
Lots of good memories.
Growing up as a child in a house, having a big roof over your head.
Yeah.
Things like that." "Oh, yeah. Excellent. How about you give those over to us?" And he reaches down to a little flask, like a little gourd that he's got at his side. And you see it's got this golden stopper on it. He says, "Yeah, just hand that memory over. And if the rest of you have some good memories, you can hand them over too. And then you can be on your way."
Pass?
No, thank you.
"Oh, well, what's just one little memory? You ain't gonna miss it."
Oh, I'm pretty sure I will. Somebody already took my dreams. Absolutely not.
"Someone took your dreams? Well, that must make you terribly sad."
Well, yeah.
Excuse me. Sorry. Everyone, there's nothing threatening behind this bush. I've checked it out very thoroughly. You take people's memories, do you?
"Oh, only good ones. Just happy ones. And just little ones."
Right. And so where might these memories be stored?
"Well, they're stored right here in this gourd." And he holds it up.
All right. And are there other people around these parts that also take and store memories in such devices?
No, just me. Just do it for Agdon and for the bandits. Yep, just a little bit of good cheer that we collect along the way. Don't worry, you won't miss it at all. You won't even remember it.
Well, I've actually had quite a few of my memories stolen, and I miss them quite dearly. And,
well, how do you know?
Well, because I'm standing here telling you that I miss them quite dearly.
But if you don't remember them, then why do you miss them?
Because there's a hole in my head where the memory should be, and I recognize the hole.
Oh, well, this doesn't leave a hole. No. I just sort of think a little bit, and we'll capture it, and everything will be great. No holes, no damage.
What if we don't want to give you these memories?
Well, then we'll have to beat you black and blue. And the other ones behind him, like one of them takes a club and just sort of like starts tapping it in his little paw-like hand.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, sorry, it's a non-starter, friend.
No.
I'm sorry.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Yep.
Positive?
Yeah,
Can't
do you
convince
really
ya.
want a fisticuffs here? Look at this guy. And I point at Tana. Or not at Tana, at Thorn.
Thorn's face
And this
starts,
one. Actually, I do point at myself.
Thorn's face starts darkening like a storm cloud, and then he says, "Well, I don't like when people threaten to beat up my friends. I think
Oh, that's
you
all right. We'll
should
start with you.
go
You're right. He's
now."
the big one. We should start with him. Everybody, get the big guy first. And a couple of them with slings start loading stones, and the other one starts circling around with their clubs. Let's do an initiative.
Dun, dun,
All
dun.
Damn.
Our first combat.
Yes,
Wow.
first combat of the stream.
An actual combat.
Yep.
Watch, my initiative is garbage.
Yep.
And last combat, baby.
My initiative is not garbage.
Oh,
Oh,
And Fed,
So
you rolled
there's
with
makes
advantage,
sense.
right?
Tana is ready for this. All right, Sylphira, what do you got?
I got a natural 15 with no bonus or minus. So 15.
All right, Tana.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Dirty 20. Sam.
21.
21. And Thorn.
7.
7. Thorn is still
as
thinking
usual.
about this. Slow as Bert.
He's
All
still
right.
thinking about it.
The brigands, these rabbit folk brigands, they are fast. They are ready to go quicker than Sophia, but not as quick as Tana and Sam. They go in 19. All right. First one to go with Sam on 21.
Get him, Sam.
All right. Brandishing a rapier. Now, how close are they to us, actually?
So let's. I got a little map here. Maybe I can show it to you. This will give you sort of an idea. Assuming it starts up here. They're looks like about 30 feet away or so. If you roll 20, you'll see the map. There are a total of 5 of them, and behind them there is this sort of vague, large form that looks familiar to you. It looks like a giant snail. And the last one of these rabbit folk is kind of near the snail, holding like the reins to it, and you can see this snail is got like a bunch of packs on its back in packages. Looks a little bit like Tana's snail.
All right.
All right.
Kindred spirit.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Except it doesn't look happy or angry. It just looks like a snail. Its eyes go in 2 different directions. It's not even like paying attention to the fight. Yeah.
all right. Can I do this? Oh, I know. I've made myself pretty well known. Okay, screw it. I'm just pulling out a dagger and throwing it at the guy who was talking.
All right. Roll to hit. What's the range on a dagger? I'm going to move you up a little bit off to the side. Oop, you know what? We got the wrong time here, but we'll still
20 near, 60 far. So
You're
I
going
would
to have to move a little closer because they're about 30 feet away or so.
Okay, so yeah, I would move 10 feet up, throw a
Okay.
dagger. That's going to be a 21 to hit.
Oh, that's a hit.
And then a whopping 4 points of piercing damage.
All right. Dagger flies end over end, lands right in the leg of this rabbit folk. It looks down, surprised that like this attack happened so quickly, and there's this delayed reaction where it's like, ah! As this dagger's sticking out of its leg.
All right, and then I'm going to bonus action hide.
Bonus action, jump back into the bushes.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Next, we've got Tana.
All right. Tiana is going to look at him. She's going to take out her short swords and twirl them around. And she just looks at him and says, "You are not getting inside my head. not again. And she just starts raging. And she is going to run up to the closest bunny folk, probably the one who's been singing, and attack.
What's Tana's movement? They're about 30 feet away.
It's 25. Well, then she just goes into a rage and starts running up.
All right. Charging up, you're just short of them as, but you can double move. So you can dash up to them if you wish, or move and do something else.
Well, I don't have anything to throw, so I just run up to him.
All right. As you come running up, the rabbit folk who are sort of beginning to circle around, I'm assuming you're going towards the leader?
Yeah.
All right. The other ones begin spreading out around. A couple of them have slings. Another one comes up with a club to join the leader. And a third, actually two of them, begin flanking towards Thorn. They don't actually get to melee yet, though. They come in with slings and fire off some bullets first.
Ooh.
On Tana first, since you're right with the leader, though, this rabbit folk takes a shot at you, and you realize that they have trained together to work together, almost like a pack of animals. This one comes in, sort of jabs at you, and when you're distracted, the one next to it takes a swing at your head. That misses, though. The second one, the first one that was actually trying to hit you, attacks as well and hits an AC 16.
My armor class is 16.
All right, and you take 3 points of damage.
So half of that is what?
Is one. They smack you with this, like you don't even feel it. Like they do their best, and it hardly even leaves a mark. The other ones are slinging stones at Thorn. 3 coming Thorn's way.
Oh boy.
AC 17 and a miss. AC 7, and then the last one. Oh, crit. Last one's going to leave a mark.
Would you say I've had a chance to get out my shield yet, or not?
Yeah, you probably have it just sort of on your arm. I mean, there's no reason not to.
Sure. Then in that case, the 17 misses.
All right. So one hit, which is a crit, which is probably going to hurt a tiny bit. Let's see. That does 7 points of damage.
Okay.
Oof. That was all 3 of them. You see the snail in the back just sitting there. The reins, they've let go of them. It begins moseying over towards some bushes and tries to start gnawing at them. Let's, who's up now? Well, we got Sophira's up. Sophira, you're right behind Thorn. So far they haven't targeted you.
I'm going to, how do I move? How do I move myself?
Let me bring in your other token real quick. Where do you want to move to? And I'll do it.
Is there like a laser pointer tool or something?
Yeah, there's the little snap to center. It looks like a circle with a comb in it.
Gotcha. Or if you're on the pointer and then you press and hold and roll 20, there'll be like a ping.
I'd like to move here, effectively, kind of like in between these logs, like right around on the other side of that big log. Yeah, kind of where Samarin's token just was for a second. Yeah, one past the... There. Yeah, perfect. Perfect.
I'm fixing these. I get the right tokens in here. You should be able to move that one now.
Cool.
Move to there and then what?
Cool, I can move it. And as I'm walking, I'm going to hold my holy symbol. Suluna, protect us now. And bring these low. And I'm casting Bane on the 2 that are approaching Thorn and on their... the one who looks in charge.
All right. There's a save versus that, right?
Charisma save for all 3, please.
Oh, boy. The charisma's average. They all fail. None of them are above 10.
They are all baned. So, yeah, that's a minus D4 to every save and every attack that they make.
All right. I'm going to put a little mark on them so I know. Next to go is Thorn.
All right, I'm going to try sharing this map here. Let me see if this works. Yeah, look at that. So I can sort of pop back and forth between these.
Nice.
So people who are watching can see the map. So we've got, I believe this is Thorn right here. Is that my token? The one with the
That
streaks
is.
under the eyes?
Yep.
Cool.
Right here. Yep.
And then
You can tell because his head is much bigger in the token space.
You get like
Perfect.
one eye and a nose and the upper lip, and that's like.
Can you guys see me?
This
I'm
is
gonna
way more badass than I see myself as, but I appreciate that.
wait until I import the little Burger King crown and put it on your head. It won't look so great.
That'll fix it.
Yes.
I should just do that right now. Put it on there.
So I will periodically switch over to this to show the audience what we're doing. For now, on my turn, what I'm going to do is run up, and would you count swinging my shield at someone as an improvised weapon?
No, I think you can actually attack with a shield bash. I think it's got its own damage. But if you want to use it as an improvised weapon,
I
you can
do,
that
actually.
too. Use it in an unusual way.
I will go up to the one nearest me and try to smash him with the edge of my shield.
I'm assuming that there is a tactic to this, but go ahead.
Well,
And,
I have Tavern Brawler. We each got a feat at first level, so I took Tavern Brawler, which means if I make an attack with an improvised weapon, I can do a bonus action if I hit to grab someone.
Okay.
So I'm going to swing my shield at him, and if I hit, I can try to grab with my other hand. How much damage would you say a shield does? Standard 1d4 or a little more?
It did do a 1d4. It's like a club.
Okay. That's going to be 16.
16 is, I believe, a hit. Yep.
All right. It is not
And
going
damage.
to be tremendous damage. Not bad, actually.
Did you move closer?
Oh,
Which
I did
one?
not move myself. I just move up to here.
All right.
Smack him with the shield. And then I will... so that's going to do 8 damage.
Oh, you rock him back on his feet. You hit him right in his bunny head. His ears are like, his eyes are kind of all wobbly. He almost goes down from that one hit, but he's still standing. He's like, whoa, that hurt. Whoa. Get this one quick, everybody.
Well...
Now you can try to grab him, right?
I can. Would you allow a punch as an offhand attack, since I'm proficient with unarmed and improvised weapons?
Yeah.
If he looks on his last legs, I'll just try to punch him.
Okay.
Yes.
I whiff on the roll.
All right. A haymaker goes wild. He's just stumbling like around too much for you to get like a good beat on him. Plus, maybe you're a little bit. This is the first time you've ever really attacked somebody to defend yourself, I think.
Yeah, probably.
And it's a bunny man. So all sorts of weird going on here.
Yeah.
Next to go, we're basically at the top of the round. Sam.
Okay. So I see Thorn beset by marmosets. And I'm going to run up to here, drawing my rapier, and as I move, slice him across the throat, seeing him largely weakened by Thorn's attack. That'll be a 13 to hit.
So close, but it doesn't quite get there. Right past its throat. Just this is the same one that was injured, right?
Yeah. And then
so it's like it's doing its best to try to survive and just getting lucky at this point.
Then I will bonus action dodge.
Can you bonus action dodge? Is that the sort of
oh no. So sorry, that's the monk thing. I will bonus action disengage and go. Sorry, that I missed. You get him.
You are dodging. You're just standing behind the biggest shield.
I'm dodging by moving away. Okay.
All right. That was Sam. 10 is up.
All right, I attack the leader again.
Go ahead.
All right. This time I'm actually going to hit him because I'm up next to him. So let's do it. Well, that time it's an 11.
11. That misses, unfortunately.
Well, that was my first swing.
You still have your other hand, right? You have your 2 swords out.
It's also an 11.
You try to stab this thing, and it just is like, what? It just like it's jumping left and right. Just it's like, get this little thing off me, you weird little creep.
I'm gonna put you in a stew.
I have heard that one before from bigger people. And on their turn, this one calls back out to the one behind it. It says, "Hey, put that stupid sling down. Get over here." And it's like, what's the matter, Jebik? You can't handle one little girl? And Jebik's like, shut up! Get over here, or Agnon will have your head. And he comes running in to help. And now we're going to have Tana with like a bunch on her, and then still just 2 on Thorn. They don't apparently seem to think that Sam is a huge threat, since Sam just ran in, whiffed, and ran away. The first, the leader, apparently his name is Jebik. He comes in. They're all now pack tactics on you, so this is going to be a little tricky.
Oh no!
From him, AC 23 for 4 points. Ooh, the one next to him gets lucky, clocks you with a crit for 5 points, and then the third is another one for 6 points. These are all halved for you, right? Because of barbarian stuff?
Oh, yes. Mm-hmm.
All right.
What was the total on that? I'm sorry.
So
I was writing down a note.
No problem. These are half. So 2 points,
okay.
Another 2 points, and then 3 points.
Okay.
Then the other 2 that are on Thorn. AC 17, you said that misses, right?
That misses.
AC 23 for 3 points.
That's going to hit.
Subtracting 4, though, right? From
D4. Let me roll that.
Or a D4 for...
The first one missed, and then I got to do the D4.
Oh, for...
only one. It's going to bring it to 22, which means you still get hit.
Still hits.
The leader on... Let me check the leader real quick. Yeah, even a 4 against Tana, if I'd rolled max, for the leader, still a hit. So no need to go back. That's them. They've gone. Sulfira's up now.
I'm not liking how quick they're moving and how fast they mobbed Tana.
They seem used to working in larger numbers and taking out individuals.
I'm going to advance myself here alongside Tana. And as I'm doing so, I want leader guy Jared to make a dex saving throw for me.
All right, leader 1 is the one here, the one that looks a little different. No,
yes.
Dex save,
and then minus a D4.
Minus what's the DC?
13.
13. It's gonna have to be a kind of a big 4. Ooh, hey, your Bane made the difference.
Yes.
Okay.
Fails. What happens?
So it takes a whopping 1 radiant damage from Sacred Flame.
All right. The leader, Jebik, by the way, his name is Jebik. He's standing there. You point at him with your finger, and he's like, he gets ready to dodge. He's like, what you doing? And like, meanwhile, there's like this light on his head that's getting brighter. And then this little flame goes, and he's like, ah, from the 1 point of damage that you did to him.
With my free action, I will look him in the eyes and say, we don't have to fight. We don't want to fight you. Just let us pass peacefully.
Well, we'll let you pass peacefully. Just give us a little memory. That's all. Just a little one.
That's not peacefully.
It's not, but they are bandits apparently, and they're proud of it. Thorn is up.
Thorn just says, "You are very rude." And you know what? I'm done grabbing them. I'm gonna pull my sword out.
Okay.
And I'm gonna chop at the one that's already injured.
Mm-hmm. Look out! He's got a sword.
It's 13.
It's gonna be close, but no cigar.
Okay.
They're fast.
And then with my offhand, I'll try to slam him with the shield as well.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah. Come on. There we go. 17.
That is a hit, and that's the one that was injured. You knock him right in the head with the shield. You see some when it comes away, like his two front bunny teeth are gone. He stumbles back and lands in a puddle of swamp goo, and is just floating there, unconscious.
I just shake my head and say, "Sorry."
The one next to him looks over at the one that just fell, and then up at you, and he's like, "Wow, you hit him good." Okay, swords aren't needed though. You know, we're just being non-lethal here. Sam is up.
You have the choice to make this non-lethal before you didn't let us have the choice to go on our way. That was very convoluted. I run past, once again, swiping at him.
One of the rabbit folk over near 10 is like, "What you say?" I don't know.
So that is going to be a dirty 20 to hit.
Nice, that's a hit.
With sneak attack damage, that will be 7, 9, 12 points of damage.
This was which one? The one on Thorn?
Yeah, the other one on Thorn.
That one goes down. He hasn't even been injured, but you come in, stab in a kidney, and he's like, oh, and just falls to his knees and then collapses on his face.
And then with a flourish, I will run past and join Tana and Sophia up here and just odds are now more even.
Tana is up. The rabbit folk fighting you here, they seem to be maybe rethinking this a little bit, but they haven't given up yet.
All right. Sulfur is like, we don't have to fight, but she wants to. So she's going for the leader again.
I gotta try to be lawful good, right?
I know. Just too chaotic for you. Oh yes, 17 plus 5, so a lot.
Oh, that's gonna hit. And this is raging.
Yes, it is. D6 plus 5, so that's 8 damage.
All right, the leader is still in the process of trying to put out this flame on the top of its head when you stab it in the gut, and it bends over like, oh, and you see like the sword like sticking out its back, and it just goes into the muck.
And I,
you just killed something. You just stabbed it all the way through.
Ooh.
I said I tried to warn you, and then I take my other sword and I hack at his friend.
All right, roll.
That is a 24.
Nice.
I like this dice. I switched out dice. This is a better dice.
Tana,
I heard that big thump. I thought you were rolling one of those big dice, like.
No, it's just right near the mic. But satisfying.
Yeah,
I roll my tumbler.
All right, that's another 8 damage.
All right. Do you have that feat that lets you do strength on the offhand too?
You do.
Oh, maybe I don't. Do I?
You took dual wielder.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I just wanted to double check.
Yeah.
All right. What was that? 12 points?
8, what was it? 8 plus 8, 16.
No, for the second attack was 8 plus
Yes.
2, 10 points. That one goes down.
No, it was not 8 plus 2. It was just 8.
Just 8. Oh, okay.
You
Then
already
it's
added the extra damage.
you already added the rage.
Yes, I did. Yeah.
All right.
I didn't roll.
Badly hurt, but not down. On their turn, the leader's down now, so this is just the other ones. There's only 2 of them left. One of them's badly hurt. They see the leader's down and possibly just dead down. They disengage and run. leaping over muck and rocks to escape in two different directions. One goes to the north and one goes to the south, leaping over water and bushes and stuff as they go. They have pretty quick speed. They move at 30, and they seem to have this ability to leap much further than a normal human could. So they're able to sort of avoid hazards and things like that. Do you want to let them go?
Yeah.
Now they're about 30 feet away or so.
Think so.
We're letting you go.
Thank you. One of them yells as they disappear into the fog.
But I'm not gonna let this go. And I take that vial that was on the belt of the leader.
It's a gourd. It seems to be like someone took, a gourd and attached like a golden stopper to the top of it. What do you do with it?
I go to Sulfura and I'm like, how do we let these memories out? How do we give them back to people? Do you know?
Honestly, don't. I can speak with Seluna and see if she can give me some answers.
Well, till then,
I'm
into the backpack.
Yeah, I feel like we just hold on to that for now until we figure that out.
Yeah, till we find a place to rest. I'm happy to examine it then and see if I can learn anything.
Sure.
Can I check the ones that I struck, and if they need medical attention, like bandage their wounds and help them get back up?
If you want to try to, not let them bleed out, sure.
Yeah.
It seems as if, what about Sulfura? Everybody else notices that Thorn goes and starts pulling out some cloth to try to bandage up some of them that are on the ground.
Oh, you okay? Hey there. I didn't mean to hit you so hard.
Face down in the muck. Give me a medicine check and see if you can't stem the flow.
Hey, it's 14.
All right, you bandage one up. You think it's going to make it. There's 3 others that are just laying them out.
Well,
Sorry, 2 others. 2 others.
I'll approach the leader that had his guts opened.
He's pretty bad off. Let me roll something real quick for him, and we'll see exactly how bad that is. Oof. Yeah, he's about to die. The blood has slowed to a trickle.
I don't know what to do, so I just kind of kneel down next to him and just try to make him comfortable.
All right.
As he passes.
He
and just
passes in this swamp with a bit of a gurgle.
Just kind of I'll hold him and try to ease his passing as much as I can.
All right. It's the first creature you've probably seen killed in violence, I would think. You've probably seen accidents around your village. I don't think any of your characters have seen anything like this, but correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe Sam has. The carnival can be kind of a deadly place occasionally.
Of course, he can't remember the carnival.
True.
He might vaguely remember things like this.
I will say that Sulfur is probably familiar being around death and dying, but not in a violent way.
Yeah.
So she has no idea what to do, so she just kind of defaults to hospice, make them comfortable.
All right.
Tiana comes out of her rage and she sees Sulfura there with the leader, and she looks around kind of guiltily, and she watches Thorn sort of try to bandage the other guy, and she's like, "Oh, they should have just let us go."
You're right.
Yeah.
We were defending ourselves.
Look, you guys are using normal reason, and the people of this land don't think the same way we do. They don't have the same set of morals and reason that we do. Everything you believe doesn't matter here.
Well, you know what? It does matter, Sam, because without it, then we're not us. So we got to stick by it.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm sorry. You're right. It matters for us. But for them, like, you don't try and get inside their heads. Stay one step ahead.
How can we do that without getting inside their head?
Well, it's time to learn crafty.
Have I had any luck with the other injured one?
You think that you're going to prevent him from dying, but he's not coming around.
Okay. Once that's done, is that snail still here?
It is. You look over, it's still sitting at that bush, just sort of like licking some leaves. It's got packages and stuff on it. Doesn't seem like it's even cares that this fight happened, 20 feet away.
I want to
It's
go.
lettuce too.
What was that?
It's lettuce too.
Yeah, lettuce too. What do
We
you do
could
with
name it lettuce.
Because the one in the snail race that got distracted by the lettuce, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I
Got
kind
it.
of love that snail.
Got it.
Okay. And this one got distracted by a bush. Anyway,
Well, I want to go over to it. I want to try to befriend this snail.
It's just sitting there, like munching on this bush, like with this sort of weird snail, like, face thing. One eye stalk turns your direction as you come up. It just gives you this weird, like, indifferent look. The other eye stalk watching what it's eating.
As Thorn is trying to befriend that thing, I start going through all the packaging.
Okay. The only thing you find on these rabbit folk are they're wearing very basic leather armor. They had clubs that looked like they were probably fashioned from trees and tree limbs that they had cut themselves, and some slings made of leather and stones that they probably picked up out of rivers. They don't have any actual wealth on them. The only thing that seems to be of value is that one gourd that the leader had. And then there are some supplies like food and rations on the snail itself.
I'm going to follow Thorn over to the snail because I remember the snail races and that was fun. And I would like to try to befriend it as well and maybe have it be a ride for us.
Mm-hmm.
Give me a handle animal.
Wait, where's my nice dice?
Can we both roll, or should one of us roll and the other help? Or
You can help if you have skill in it. You can aid, and the best person.
I have
knows the
proficiency.
skill.
Do you have proficiency?
I do too. So I will aid you. I will help you. Roll with
Roll
advantage.
twice.
Thank you.
Also, there were some bagpipes.
Mm-hmm. They're on the ground. They had been dropped by one of them. Like had dropped them almost immediately when this fight turned super, aggressive against them. But yes, there is a set of bagpipes. A little bit muddy, but you know.
I
what
had
do
a
do with this thing?
20 for the animal handling.
20. You head over
Yes.
to lettuce 2, and it you see that it's trying to reach for like some particular leaves in this bush, and it can't get close to them because there's some brambles that are in the way. And you grab this thing and sort of pull it closer, and the snail begins to start munching on it. And both eye stalks, just sort of turn towards you. And if a snail could smile, this one seems to be like smiling.
I say, who's a good slimy little guy?
It just sits there like munching its face, like.
Oh, there's more where that came from if you want to be friends with us.
It is
We're a lot
already like starting to follow you around. You've given it the right thing, and both you and Lieutenant and Thorn seem to have made a friend. This thing is like now a weird, slow puppy following you around.
Yes.
A packlet of stuff on its back. And with that, as you've made a new friend and beat up a few others, non-friends that you met in this place, let's take a 5-minute break, and we'll come back and see what happens next.
All right.
This episode today is brought to you by our local favorite restaurant. Have you ever found yourself so forsakenly famished after a frightening foray that you'd forego your immortal soul frivolously for a foot-long sandwich? Well, thunderstep your way down to the Tormented Souls Bar and Grill, where we've got all the finest fiendish fixins for your post-epic encounter eating extravaganza. The delicious Kuatoa chips paired with a Tiamat IPA is sure to satisfy even the ragiest of barbarians. Our hearty black and blue bacon basilisk burger will fill you up without turning your guts to granite. The new pan-fried hot pepper panko pixie poppers pair perfectly with our purple worm porter. And every Tuesday from 2 to 3, try our 3 for 2 terrifyingly Titanic Tarrasque tri-tip tacos, now made with actual Tarrasque. And we're famous throughout the 9 hells for our brimstone braised beholder balls. Don't be feared. Once you're charmed by their telekinetic flavor, you'll be paralyzed to death, petrifying pleasure as your enervation disintegrates. For a limited time, when you order 10 beholder balls, you get 1 giant beholder ball for the table. On us. Don't be slowed and sleep on this deal. Tormented Souls Bar and Grill will fill your bellies like the pits of hell. Come to the new location in downtown Avernus on the corner of Agony and Suffering.
Nice.
Nice. I saw you working on that earlier. I'm like, this looks complicated.
That was some impressive alliteration. Yeah.
Yeah,
It was.
Thank you.
My goodness.
And did y'all catch that I did all 10 beholder rays?
Yeah.
Yes.
I was
Like
rolling my head back and forth. Oh, God, I got him.
That took me like 20 minutes. Not really, like 15 minutes to like crowbar in every single one.
Very good, very
It
good.
is appreciated.
Nice.
Awesome.
I think you missed a joke there, though. There was a joke opportunity for behold her balls and behold his balls, and you missed it.
Did he? Did he?
I missed it. It was some low-hanging fruit.
Hey-o.
Oh.
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back in 10. Thank you very much.
Is it?
Welcome back, everyone. Before we jump back into it, I have 3 small announcements to share. First of all, Callie and I were on we were interviewed for a podcast recently, the Dungeon Master's Toolkit, in which we talk about Misfit Table, among some of our other projects, as well as how sad this kitty is. So that should be going live on Friday. And you can look it up wherever you look for podcasts. It's the Dungeon Master's Toolkit. Another thing, as you probably noticed, we are now affiliate. So I'm super jazzed about this. This is exciting. If you are having fun, if you enjoy the show, if you want to see more of this, consider obviously following and or subscribing if you want to financially support it. Thank you very much. We really appreciate it. Last but not least, we talked it over as a team, and we decided we do want to do a second episode of Blades in the Dark. So we need to work out the time and date for that, but stay tuned. It is going to be coming.
Excited about that. The Blades in the Dark game was fun.
Yeah, that was great.
Can't wait to join.
Yes, we missed you.
No, it's too late. You can't play now. If you weren't there at the beginning, you can't play.
No. But you will have need of the skills of Razkal Khan.
We actually will. We actually need another partner.
I love that you already have a character.
I have spent many a dark hour planning. Not really, just the name. Just the name and the characteristics.
Many a dark hour planning the name. I just imagine in the middle of the night, freaking people out walking by your place.
Yep. I'll wander into the 7-Eleven across the street in my cloak, just rambling mad things into the ether. And I want a taquito.
Get me a taquito. I won't steal your soul.
Finest kombucha.
Uh-oh.
Wait.
Did we lose
Rob
Rob
froze.
briefly?
Oh no!
What
It's a great
face.
Great freeze frame.
on
Oh,
that.
there he's back. He's
I'm
back.
back.
Oh,
Was I
we
like,
lost-
Oh, no.
We lost.
Did you have
Back
some
to the
beholder
ego
balls?
face.
You paralyzed with...
Am I back now? Am I back?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. All right. At least it crashed during, chatter and not a role play moment.
Oh, I know, right? That would be so
For
bad.
sure.
All right. Have we gotten the rest of that Blades of the Dark out of our system? Are we still talking about that? Or are we
No, I
ready to
think we're
move
done.
on?
We can head back
All
to
right.
the main game.
Let's go back to the Blades in the Swamp.
Yeah.
So, when last we were playing, you had just befriended this snail, defeated some rabbit-like folk that were trying to basically mug you for happy thoughts. A couple of them you drove off into the swamp, and although you have a couple that didn't quite make it, there's one that Thorn applied some first aid to, who looks like he is going to pull through.
2, right? I wanted to try to patch up both the others that were.
Oh, did you want to try to patch up both? I only saw the one. Give me another medicine check, and we'll see if
Okay.
you can work on the other one too.
That
Uh,
one,
could I give him advantage if I give him a sewing kit out of my?
I don't know if there's time for the sewing kit. This is
Okay.
more like that might help for like the long term,
That's
but or
Are you
making
gonna
a hat
crochet
if
his
medicine
wounds?
fails.
I mean,
I'm
that could count as a help action, right?
Except I think Tana was doing other things at the time.
I
This is
know.
like you literally had to like jump. You guys
That's true.
basically murdered these
Yeah.
things in the swamp.
In self-defense.
It was self-defense.
I took
Since
both
that
of
one
mine with a
is-
shield. It was not a bladed weapon. Given
True.
my size, it's still a lethal weapon.
Yeah.
So the second one that he's trying to heal, was that the one that you felled, Thorn? Is that near you, or is it the one near
That's
me?
near one of the ones near. I don't know. I lost track.
It's near you.
Okay.
There were
Okay.
two that were near Thorn that were dropped. And
Yeah,
then
'cause I
the
dropped
leader
two.
is the one that didn't make it. Sophia, you were working on the leader who was over near Tana, about 20, 30 feet away.
Gotcha.
Okay. Well, I rolled a 6 on my medicine check, so he's on his own.
Unfortunately, he doesn't pull through.
Ugh.
And he is on the way out.
You just turn him over, and it's just like this rabbit face is just like, ugh, the big buck teeth and his tongue sticking out. And he's not breathing. He's ready for the stew.
I close his eyes.
Okay. They pop back open.
Creepy. I turn him upside down.
Just put a face back in the mud. Just pretend that didn't happen. You do have one that is alive.
I'm not trying to interrogate him or anything. I just wanted to save his life if possible.
Okay. What are you just going to leave him here? Just put a couple band-aids on.
What else?
He
Am I,
just wakes
I'm not
up.
taking
He
him
wakes
with
up in the
us.
swamp with his buddy's dead. Well, it looks like he tried to save me. I suppose they weren't that bad.
We're out of our depths.
Were you looking for a plan, Rob? You might be looking in the wrong place.
No, I just want to make sure that you don't 2 games from now say, what about that one Haragon that we captured? Shouldn't he be like tied to the snail or something?
No, no,
I don't know.
no.
You totally forgot about him back in the swamp like 3 days ago. He's been eaten by a giant snake that he's a goner.
I'm planning on forgetting about him in the swamp.
All right. So I'm assuming then that you are leaving him behind after patching him up. You drag him over to dry land, make sure he's not going to drown, and then
Yeah,
steal his snail and move on.
sit him up against a tree and leave.
Make like a tree and leave. All right. Your group then moves on, unless there's anything else. You have some gear that maybe you've taken from them. You have the snail, some supplies that were on the snail. Did any of you bring food? Taylor
I
probably does. I'm assuming.
did.
Besides pickles.
I mean, there's some jerky in there too.
I've got
Yeah, no,
some
we should take the food.
It's on the snail, and you're taking the snail, I
Oh,
believe.
that's good.
Yeah.
You find out very quickly that this is not one of those racing snails that goes, like super fast. This is one of those really slow snails that goes slower than you. But snails are well designed for swamps, apparently. And you get to areas where there's water, and it as it goes, it just sort of turns on its side, and the natural buoyancy of its shell keeps it afloat. Funny thing is, snails can basically swim. So you could kind of use this thing as a barge occasionally to pass water, and it's pretty big. It's a large-sized creature. So, for instance, Tana and Sam could ride on this thing easily without like really slowing it down.
Oh my
Snail
god.
boat. We have a snail boat.
We have a snail boat.
God. This brings me so much joy. You don't even know.
Just need to get a little masthead for it. A stick with some underwear hanging on it as a sail or something.
I could just see Tana just like holding on to like this mast that we created, just being like,
Yes.
As it leaves this slime trail wherever we go.
Exactly.
At least we'll know where we've been.
Too
Briefly.
shallow.
Everyone else.
like breadcrumbs.
Breadcrumbs. Breadcrumbs, except gross and like not breadcrumbs. Where did they go? I see they went this way. How can you tell? Look at the slime trail. We're gonna call you the slimy bandits or something. So you for the next about 30 minutes or so, you make your way through the swamp. This tower that you're headed to, which is sort of like the only landmark you can see, close to where this balloon went down, looms larger and larger as you get closer to it. And eventually, you find yourselves approaching this slanted tower. It rises up out of the swamp, and like I said, it's leaning at kind of an alarming angle. It looks like it's any day now just going to topple over. You find that it's surrounded with these black brambles at the base of the tower. Kind of makes it difficult to get too close to it. And as you circle around, you see hanging from the crenellations on the lower side of this tower is a large woven basket dangling at the end of ropes and tattered fabric from this balloon, which seems to have caught on the top of the tower and now is stuck here. The basket itself is dangling about 30 feet or so overhead, and it's kind of over the swamp itself.
I want to shout out at it and say, is anybody there?
When you shout out up at it, you hear a voice call back, but it's kind of hard to make out. Give me a perception check.
Okay.
All of us or just Tana?
All of you. You're all there.
All right. Hey, you got a natural 20.
Nice.
13.
13.
11.
And Tana?
19.
19. All right. The only one that they can't quite make out the words are Sophia, but you hear whispering coming from the basket. And Thorn, you can kind of make them out maybe the best. Maybe it's because you're like 4 feet taller than everybody else and closer to this thing. But you hear a voice whisper, hissing at you. Shush! Quiet, quiet! Not so loud! Don't yell!
Oh, sorry.
Sorry for what?
What? To the
Tana,
guy.
you could hear that.
Oh,
Tana
I can
heard
hear
it
that
too. Yeah, you were the
Right.
19. Sam can hear it too. Thorn can hear it the clearest, though.
Okay.
Can you hear us if we whisper?
Mostly. That's good enough. And you see there's a little bit of a rattling up in the basket. This whisper seems to be coming from overhead, just loud enough for you to hear. And it continues. It says, I don't suppose you might be able to help us out a bit.
We'd love to try.
Yeah. Why are we being quiet?
Oh, because, if you look down at the base of the tower, there's a couple of very, very large snakes over there. 2 serpents. Look at the brambles. If you look carefully, just outside the tower door, you might be able to see them. If you wake them up, well, they might put a squeeze on you, or worse, eat your whole.
Well,
So what you're saying is we need to sneak past the snakes, get into the tower, come up to where you are, help you out, get you out of the tower, out past the snakes, and then be on our merry way.
Well, yeah, I suppose. Unless you got another plan. Unfortunately, I'm kind of stuck here. A bit of a bind, you see. I can't quite help you out myself.
What do you
Why
want to
not?
get down?
Verily, yes, I do.
Oh, okay. Hang tight.
Oh, wait, hold on. If we may be so bold as to ask, who
Yes,
are you?
but ask quietly.
I'm asking very quietly.
My name is, I'm Sir Talavar of the Summer Queen's Court. I'd bow, but you can't see me right now. I can barely make you out through the cracks in the basket.
Who is the Summer Queen?
You don't know who the Summer Queen is?
No, you see, we're a bit new here.
Maybe he could act as a guide.
Maybe.
I feel like we could use it.
What? You guys, all right, shh. And I will whisper to my friends around me. All right, there's something you should know about being in the Fey Wild. Nothing is freely given unless explicitly specified that it is freely given. So everything comes with a price. And we, being in the Fey Wild, we can ask our price.
Well, that's not necessarily true, you know. It's sort of true.
All right.
I mean, there are rules of conduct, especially here in Prismia.
Of course.
You know the rules, though, right?
Mostly, yeah. So, what I am saying is, in exchange for our assistance to get you out of the tower and past these snakes, what do you offer in return?
What do you need? I'd offer you my sword, but I've got to head back to the Summer Queen.
Well, we could use some guidance through these lands. We are on a quest to free some people. We are not...
Sam and say, perhaps we can meet with the Summer Queen. Maybe she can help us.
She might be able to. What do you need help with? If you need a guide, I mean, I'm not really a guide myself, but I know a really good one.
Are you familiar with the what's the name of those? The
Hourglass Coven.
Yeah, the Hourglass Cabin.
Oh yes, I know them.
We're trying to rescue some people that we believe they have captive.
What people? No, never mind. That sounds very, very complicated.
That's not any of your business. Yet.
There are many people they have captive. Children, adults. They've even stolen shadows and other things as well. Yes, I know quite well about the hags. You see, that's sort of the reason I'm stuck here. I was captive myself. In a way, I sort of still am. If you could get up here, you'd see. There's a cage here, and I'm sort of trapped within it.
All right. I think, shall I handle this one?
Sure. We got your back.
If you
Okay.
got it, Sam.
We're here for you. Sorry. I'm still trying to wrap my head around the tower. How tall is the tower? Like, where is the basket's hanging, like, towards the top of the tower?
Yeah, well, the tower itself is probably 60 to 80 feet tall. The basket is hanging off of the balloon and the ropes that attach to the balloon, which is destroyed, basically, but just hanging off the crenellations of the top of the tower. The basket itself is only about 30 feet or so overhead, and it's on the part of the tower that's leaning over, so it's not against the tower. It's kind of suspended, over the swamp. So it's kind of like at an angle, and it's coming down. The entrance to the tower is on the other side. Therefore, like the snakes that this thing is talked about, which you haven't even gone to really look for yet, are maybe about 60 feet away or so, kind of around the other side in the brambles somewhere. If there are indeed even snakes over there.
Does there look
Insight
to be...
check.
Okay.
You want an insight check? Roll.
Oh, well, that'll be a 5.
5. It's kind of hard to tell when you're whispering to someone you can't see in a basket 30 feet overhead.
Does there look to be any way to climb up to it?
If you climb the tower somehow, yes.
How difficult does that look?
The difficult part would be the brambles that surround the tower. And also, well, if there are snakes in the brambles, you might want to look to see where they are. And if they are really there, you'd probably have to try to sneak by them.
You know what? Screw it. I'm going to reach for the magic of this crown.
All right. You do so. Your wings spread out. The color comes to them. This glow comes to your crown. And there's this moment where the others in your group, you can't help but look over at Thorn, and he just looks majestic, even more so than he did back in the Witchlight Carnival. It's almost like the magic is more powerful here. And you lift off the ground with the magic of the crown.
Take the rope.
All right. I take the rope.
All right.
I'm coming for you. And I beat my wings and fly up to him.
You rise effortlessly to the top of the basket. You peer over the top, and inside you see a golden cage. It's not very big, maybe about 3 feet tall or so. And when you look inside, you see that there is what appears to be a dragon inside. It's purple. And it has not like normal wings. Its wings look almost a little bit like butterfly wings, almost a little bit like yours. It's standing inside this cage in sort of and it's on its back feet, and it's got its hands kind of at its side. And you can see that strapped at its side is a sword.
Cool.
And if you've ever seen like that heroic pose of like knights, like in these paintings or whatnot, that's sort of what this is. He's got like a bit of Captain Morgan going on as he's standing inside this little cage. He looks up at you and he says, yes, there we go. Oh, wow, those are some beautiful wings you got. Very similar to my own. Oh, you're wearing the monarch's crown. Oh, your highness, I didn't know. And he bows deeply in this cage. Sir Talovar, knight errant of the Sealy Court, royal vassal of the Summer Queen, at your service.
I incline my head, graciously accepting his introduction and obeisance. I have come to rescue you. And I reach down. He's in some sort of cage?
He's in a gilded, silver cage. Let me give you a better description of it. And there's also in the basket, you see the body of what appears to be a large frog at first, except it's wearing clothes. And it looks like its head is kind of it's bleeding from the side, as if it took some sort of a wound, possibly from during the crash of the balloon. And as you're reaching for the cage, he says, could you get my friend there as well? He doesn't deserve for this to be his final resting place.
Of course.
The cage, as you were asking about, is it's a silver. It looks like a bird cage. It's silver, and it's got all sorts of filigree on it. And you see what appears to be like a keyhole on one side where you could unlock it, but there's no key in it. Very large silver bird cage.
Is there a way to get this thing open? And I reach over and just sort of test my strength against it. See if it would be possible to just snap those silver bars.
Give me a strength check. As you're trying, he says, I don't think so. I've tried my best. And I've got... I am not a weakling. And I have had no success.
Do I get any benefit for having double the sort of strength numbers of what I can lift and carry and stuff like that?
No, not unless those would apply to like breaking down doors or breaking things.
Not explicitly.
Yeah.
So that is a 17.
17. You give it your best shot, and the bars don't even bend. They're thin. It should be easy for you to do this. There's obviously some sort of... They're either not silver, some sort of metal you've never encountered before, or they are magically reinforced in some way. And you give it your best shot, like pulling very hard at them, and they don't budge. He says, I think this cage is enchanted. Bavlona said that I would never be able to escape from it without the proper key.
Where's the key?
Well, I think it's with Bavlona.
Oh,
At least she said it was.
that's too
But I think
bad.
I might know where there is another.
Oh, that's good. Well, here, come on. I'll pick up the whole cage
Mm-hmm.
and
It's light in your hands, very light in your hands.
set it close at hand and carefully get the body of his friend. And once I've got a secure grip on the body, I'll pick up the cage again and then exercise my wings and descend back to the ground.
All right, Thorn returns to the swampy floor with a gilded cage in hand and the body of a large human-like frog being.
We heard that whole conversation between Thorn and...
You could hear them whispering up there. It's about 30 feet away, but they weren't
Okay.
necessarily like whispering to be unheard.
I'm sorry, did I hear you say Pavlova, like Pavlova Brightstraw?
Bavlona, you mean?
Or Lorna, sorry.
Yes, she's the reason that I'm in this cage. You see, the Summer Queen, she sent me here. Could we go a little further away from this tower? Those snakes, I'm fairly certain that she sent them after me. And if they hear or see us here, it would be very bad for you.
Yeah.
It's curious. My first question is, have you killed one of her minions? Because she controls an army of frogs, from my understanding.
Well, not an army, but quite a few, yes. Talking about her loanlings, I assume.
Yeah.
Yes, she creates them. They're like a part of her in a way. Vomits them up whenever she needs assistance.
Oh, that's horrible.
Yes, it's terrible. It's extremely disgusting.
Might
Jeez.
I have a look at that log?
Oh, of course. Be my guest.
Yeah.
It's all yours.
Let's go over there.
Yeah, let's go over there.
Yeah, all right.
Right, you move a distance away from the tower so you can sort of speak more normally without having to whisper the entire time. And of course, like the whole time, like when you were whispering, this little fairy dragon was kind of looking towards the tower, like getting more nervous that you hadn't left. When you finally make your way a little further away, he relaxes and says, "Oh, there, good. Now, I feel like I can use my full voice and project like I should." Having any luck there with the lock?
Let me see.
Maybe Saluna can help you, and I'll give you guidance as well.
See, that's a 22.
Did you add guidance in too?
I had not.
And
if
I will also say, you got this, Sam. Believe in you. Take a bardic inspiration as well.
D6?
D6.
D6.
26.
You give this your best shot, and like you get your picks in there perfectly. This thing should open, but it doesn't. There must be either this lock is better than any of you've found, or like Thorn sort of noticed before, there's a magic on this cage. As you're working at the lock, though, Sir Talavar tells you his story about how he came to be locked in this thing. He says, you're speaking about Bavlona. Yes, I came to her on behalf of the Summer Queen. I'm one of her loyal servants, you see. And, I was supposed to come and just speak with her, find out what is happening in this realm. I've heard things have gotten worse here. The coven, you see, they've been doing things their own way. The Summer Queen had a relationship with Sibylna that was quite different. We were hoping perhaps that maybe diplomatic negotiations could be undertaken. Bavlorna apparently didn't like the cut of my jib and locked me in this cage. And there I sat for some time until I made friends with my good friend over there, Wigglewog, the Summer Queen, bless his soul. He gestures over at this frog-like creature. Says, without Wigglewog, I never would have made it out of Downfall. Yes, he and some of his friends, they helped me escape. Took my cage, put it in one of their balloons, flew me away, and I was going to make it. Well, I was hoping to make it back to the Summer Queen's court, tell her everything that was going on here, about the fall of Prismere and how things have degraded further under the rule of these terrible hags. But, alas, the wind was not with us. The balloon fell, and here I am.
Oh, tragic.
I know.
How do you get back to the Summer Queen now?
I don't know. Perhaps if I could ever get out of this cage, I could use my wings and fly. I believe I still know the way, but can't do such a thing while still stuck here.
But we can take you with us, and you can guide us while still locked in.
Like I was telling you, well, I think I might know someone that could help get this open. There is a goblin that I met during my time in Downfall. Her name is Jingle Jangle. She doesn't live too far from here. Left Bavlorna's abode some time ago. Not too happy with the deal that she made with that terrible hag, and made her way to Telemy Hill. And I believe that she still lives there. Has an obsession with keys. Can open almost any lock if given some amount of time to do so. Acquired quite a collection of keys, from what I understand.
I make a medicine check on the dead frog person to make sure that they're dead.
Sure.
$21.
Dead.
Sorry, 19.
Still dead.
All right.
You think they
wanted to
crushed
make
their
sure.
head against like the tower or something when the balloon fell?
So it seems like our only, present course of action is to go seek out Jingle Jangles, get Sir Tolliver free, and then go have a word with the Summer Queen.
Yeah, that
Might
sounds
be possible. What do you hope to learn from her? What has brought you to this terrible swamp in the first place?
Well, the Coven has, under the guise of, have you ever heard of anyone called the Caller?
The Caller. Let me see. The name sounds somewhat familiar. Sort of boogeyman that travels Prismere, I understand. I believe once was in the employ of Sibylna.
Yeah, there's a whole thing going on there. Are you familiar with the Witchlight Carnival at all?
Oh, of course. How could I not? He gestures over to Thorn. You can see the crown right there.
Right. Well, and you see my wings. They're not as colourful as they once were. But I was one of the Witchlight hands for a time.
Ah, yes, I could see that.
And they've taken a lot of my memories. But they've also taken some people that are very important to all of us.
By they, you mean whom?
Well, we assume that the Coven, the Hourglass Covenant.
Yes, the Covenant. You see, these realms, they operate under their own authority. You might be able to go to the Summer Queen and ask for help. The Summer Queen has no authority here in Prismere.
No, and I get that. But it's quite possible that she might grant us some sort of boon for rescuing one of her intrepid, what would you call yourself? A servant?
Well, he's
right
a
hand
knight.
man.
I am a knight.
liaison.
Of course.
Knight,
Noble knight.
Sorry.
The Lord of the Summer Queen's court.
Yeah. We might be able to request for a favor for rescuing one of her knights from certain captivity. But this is...
Yeah, that favor is mine to repay to you. Trust me, she would not see it as a favor she owes to anyone. The Summer Queen is a very busy archfey.
Fair enough.
Understood,
Well, maybe
understood.
you could help us. Give us a map or just give us information. We don't know anything about this place.
That I could do. I could tell you about Downfall and about Bavlorna, what she is up to here, at least in this realm. I have not been to the others, so I cannot help you with them. But, yes. And you mentioned you needed a guide. I do know a guide. A strange little fellow by the name of Clapperclaw resides in Downfall.
All right,
Downfall.
Clapperclaw. And also, I'm pretty sure the person who took my dreams is in this realm. So, I mean, this is...
Who do you think took your dreams?
Oh, I'm pretty sure it was Bavlorna.
And she took something from me, too.
Then you might need to deal with her directly.
Oh,
It
dear.
would be...
Uh-oh.
The two of you, Thorn and Tana, when you're thinking about this and the feeling of the things that you've lost and you're thinking about Bavlorna, there is that feeling that you have that what was taken from you might be here feels very strong and true. It's not just sort of like a theory. You almost feel like it's just beyond the fog in a way. Like those things you've lost, they feel... Sam and Sophia, they don't have that same feeling here, just to let you know.
All right, well, let's go find Jingle Jangles. Let's get you free, and then let's go from there.
Agreed.
Right on. And trust me, I'll do my best to repay you for these services. And if the Summer Queen can do anything for you, I will put in a good word for you.
Much
Thanks.
appreciated.
Thorn, can you lift
She
him
will
up
listen to and
onto...
perhaps she can help you.
Oh, sorry. Thorn, could you lift him up, lift the cage up onto our friend Lettuce here, Lettuce the second?
Lettuce too.
All right. You're going to get a treat. You're going for a ride on Lettuce the Second.
Wait, so I want to make a suggestion here. So the first lettuce, let's call it Lettuce A, which means this one would be named Let Us Be.
I think that's maybe going to be it.
Let us be.
And then the next one will be Let Us See.
Oh my god.
Now I have a feeling that Sam's got the snail's eyes look at Sam like, next one?
No, we're not trying to place you any time, B. You're our favorite right now. Just don't die. All right.
If a snail could shrug, it would. And I think that's where we're going to end off on this session for today, loading up Sir Talavar on this new noble steed of a snail and slithering off into the swamps in the direction of this hill that Sir Talavar tells you that this mysterious figure, Jingle Jangle, resides on.
Very interesting.
All right. Good game, everyone.
Good
Yes,
game.
yes. Now, first adventure is in the Fey Wild. You've met a few
Ooh.
interesting folk. Met
It's a
a
whole
few
new
interesting people
world.
and killed some of them.
Yeah, we've cut our teeth on some rabbits.
Yeah.
Travel to strange exotic lands, meet exciting new people, and kill them.
Indeed.
Oh,
They
man.
sort of had it coming.
They did. They were going to take our memories.
Brought it upon themselves.
That is
It was
there
mind
was-
assault.
yeah.
If there was a button to push, the wrong button to push, let's just take something you won't miss. Like, maybe some memories. You mean the reason we're here?
I'll kill you.
Oh, buddy,
What
you
idiot.
backed the wrong horse.
Oh yeah, that's a creepy form of banditry.
Yeah.
Definitely lets us know we're in a different place.
They didn't even ask for money, and they didn't have any.
But they had memories, and we took them.
You have them in a little jar.
We shall return them. We're
feel
not
like-
going to them.
That's gonna come up again.
I wonder if it's just like a delicious, delicious elixir.
You want to
Know what I
open
mean?
it and drink someone's memories?
Mhm.
Nobody's
Oh,
looking.
it's
You're just like,
eternal life or something. I don't know.
I wonder if it's like a drug.
Ooh.
It might be.
Yeah.
Happy thoughts?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, it's literally bottled serotonin.
yeah.
Ooh.
The come down off of that has got to be bad.
Not if you just keep drinking.
If you just keep banditrying and taking good memories.
You guys got any more of those happy feelings? I just need a little.
I just need one more happy feeling.
I just need a hug from a mom, something like that.
A nice day
Oh
on the
my
beach.
God.
I don't know.
Creepy.
Awesome.
All
All
right.
right, thanks
All right,
everybody.
everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, Rob.
Thank you for
Thanks,
joining us
everyone.
tonight. We will be back next week, same time, same place. Next part of the adventure.
Thank you for following.
Like,
Yep.
subscribe,
All that.
tell
good
your
stuff.
friends. Join us again.